Why do some men attract women like magnets while others can't get a second glance? What's the secret behind that pull, that charm, that charisma? Is there a cheat sheet that you can use to turn you into that man? Well, the answer, gentlemen, is yes. There are proven tricks that can instantly make you more appealing to women. It's all about playing the right cards, making the right moves, ticking the right boxes. You intrigued? You want to know what these tricks are? Might even have some of them without even knowing it. Chapter 1. You have good quality and groomed facial hair. Consider this. A man who hadn't shaved in weeks. His facial hair is messy, uneven. There's a sense of neglect that comes from his appearance, hinting at a possible similar neglect of other aspects of his life. Not an attractive sight, is it? Now imagine another man. This man has facial hair too, but there is a marked difference. His beard, though thick, is well groomed and neat. It fits his face, it complements his jawline. The image is strikingly different. That's appealing, that's attractive. This man, you feel, takes care of himself. He has self-respect and self-discipline. He understands the importance of presentation. He values himself. He understands that how he presents himself to the world is a reflection of who he is. There is a reason why the healthy look is often associated with attraction and magnetic power. It's not just aesthetic appeal. It's what the beard represents. It's a symbol of maturity. It's a symbol of masculinity, of strength and value as a man. Women are biologically wired to be attracted to these traits, as they signify protection and security. However, do not confuse an unruly beard with a rugged one. A rugged one is maintained. It is not unkempt. It's controlled. Maintaining a well-groomed beard is more than just not shaving. It involves regular trimming and conditioning. An ideal stubble, the kind that strikes the perfect balance between being clean-shaven and having a heavy beard, requires optimal growth of about 5 to 10 days. This length is universally appealing and has been favored by women across cultures. It gives the face a structure and looks that are universally masculine and attractive. It's important to groom and maintain that beard regularly. Keep it clean, keep it conditioned. Chapter 2. You have great body language. You walk into a room full of people. What do they see first? Your clothes? Your haircut? No, gentlemen, what they see first is your body language. The way that you carry yourself, the way that you walk, the way that you hold yourself. That's the first impression that you make. And believe me, that's a lasting one. Having great body language isn't just standing tall or not slouching. It is radiating that confidence, that control, that assurance, that pep in your step. It's basically making a statement without making a word come out of your mouth. It's about commanding respect without demanding it. Let's use our imagination again. Two men entering a room. One man walks in with his shoulders slumped, his eyes downcast. He takes up as little space as he can. He withdraws into himself. The other walks with his shoulders squared, chin up, eyes forward, owning his space. Which one do you respect more? Which one seems more confident, more in control, more appealing? Let's talk about posture. Having a good posture is not just about physical health, that's mental too. When you stand tall with your shoulders back and your chest out, you're telling the world and you're telling yourself that you're confident, you're strong. This in turn boosts your self-esteem and your confidence. It's kind of like a cycle. Confidence breeds good posture, and good posture breeds good confidence. Chapter 3. Subtle confidence. You gotta remember this, confidence is such a game changer. It's that secret ingredient that makes you stand out. Women love a confident man. Not the loud, show-off kind, but a man who knows his worth and carries himself with a quiet, steady confidence. Now do not mistake confidence with arrogance, please. There is a thin line between the two, and you don't want to cross that because you'll go from a person I like talking to somebody that I never talk to ever again. Arrogance is killer. Confidence is knowing that you can do something. Arrogance is saying that you're better. Women dig the former, not the latter. You see, when you're confident, you don't need to yell or act tough to show that you're strong. Your actions, your words, your attitude, they all do the talking for you, bud. And let me tell you, the talk is so much more attractive than any muscle flex or tall tale. Here's a little secret. The way that you talk can reveal so much about your confidence. Imagine saying something nice to a woman, but not looking her in the eyes when you say it. Doesn't really show confidence, does it? Now try the same thing, but this time, look her in the eyes, lower your voice a bit. See the difference? Chapter 4. You're chivalrous. Some call it outdated, others swear by it, but here's the truth. Chivalry, in its true essence, is a demonstration of respect. And let me tell you, women love respect. Matter of fact, human beings love respect. In fact, they all crave it. Now don't twist this into some fancy idea of rescuing damsels in distress. It's not what we're talking about. Chivalry is all about showing care, consideration, and yes, respect. It's not considering women weak. It's treating them with egalitarianism and kindness. Let me break it down for you. Walking on the outer side of the sidewalk when you're with a woman? Chivalrous. Offering her her jacket when she's cold? Chivalrous. Walking her home with her comfort in mind, of course? That's chivalrous too. Being nice to kids or pets when she's around? Definitely chivalrous. But why does any of that matter? Because when you display this kind of stuff, you're creating an atmosphere of trust. Women feel safe around you. They know that they can rely on you. And believe me, there is nothing more attractive than a man who can provide a sense of security. Not just financial or anything, but emotional security as well. You're showing her that you're not just a man who can take care of himself, but also those around him. Chapter 5. You can flirt well. Now, a lot of you hotshots out there probably think you got it down. But there's a fine line between successful flirting and landing yourself in the friend zone. Or even worse, the creep zone. First, let's address the basics. Eye contact, smiling. These are the cornerstones of flirting. They're universal, they're super simple, and they're effective. But let's not stop at the basics. Let's get advanced up in here. What works on one woman will probably not work on every woman, and it certainly might not work on the next. But there's one universal trait that every woman appreciates. Some in varying degrees. Obviously, some are more goofy than others, but that's humor. Humor, gentlemen, is your secret weapon. It is the one thing that can make you stand out in the sea of men trying to win her over. Even with serious women, they will crack a joke every once in a while, I promise. But, humor's subjective. What's funny to you might not be so funny to her. So pay attention to her body language, her verbal response. If she's laughing, if she's engaging, then you're on the right track. If she's not, well then it's time to switch tactics. Now let's talk about pickup lines. They're overused, they suck, they're cliche, and let's be real, they don't work. They just don't. I don't know if you've ever tried a pickup line. It gets laughed at. Instead of relying on some overused line, focus on being genuine. Start with a smile, engage in conversation, and keep it light and fun. But don't forget to monitor the conversation. If it's getting stale or creeping into the creep zone, time to change course. Being aware of how the conversation's going is so crucial for the game of flirting, so have social skills. Yeah. Or even not like necessarily massive social skills, just have social awareness. Yeah, there you go. Chapter 6. You maintain yourself. Boys, let us address a simple truth. No woman wants a man who can't take care of himself. Simple as that. Simple as that. A man who takes the time to maintain himself speaks loud about his character, says that he respects himself, values his appearance, and he understands the importance of personal hygiene. If you can't keep yourself clean and presentable, how can she trust you to take care of anything else? Your appearance isn't just about looking good, it's about smelling good too. Do you know that bad hygiene can really repel women? Yeah, of course. Right, and obviously, smelling bad could be the reason why you're striking out, dude. Don't be the guy who dresses to impress but forgets to shower. Your nice clothes and expensive cologne are wasted if you stink. Shower regularly, use deodorant, and maintain good oral hygiene. Oh, and when it comes to the way that you dress, keep it simple. Don't go wild with various colors like you're some tropical parrot. You're not here to draw everybody's attention in a desperate manner. You're here to feel good about yourself and show it confidently. Disappear for a while. So this is where the game begins, and here's where you have to play your cards right. Now imagine a child who gets to play with toy for years. Often the baby enjoys playing with the toy up to a certain point. When the toy starts to become boring, they drop it. Soon, if daddy comes home with a new toy, that new toy becomes the favorite. That is human nature. You become boring by simply being too available. Constantly being present without moments of absence will make you lose the special quality that attracted her in the first place. So what do? You take calculated off time from the relationship. You can go on a vacation alone or simply just find excuses to avoid seeing her for like a week or so. This gives her time to reflect on the value that you being there brings, and plus it creates a void that can only be filled by you. Create an air of mystery. I know it probably sounds like some devious strategy, but you gotta understand that mystery is very important to keep your relationship interesting. Obviously, no one wants a boring relationship, but that's what happens when you become completely predictable. With your first impression, you captivate by being unpredictable. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to be careful not to become an open book too soon. Now, let's say she's known you as a real estate agent, but you also have a passion for photography.
Don't immediately tell her. You can drop hints, but don't just say, "Yeah, I'm actually in photography." Keep it all under wraps until presumably when you guys go on a vacation together, and then you can suddenly switch from real estate man to photographer. Resist the urge to show her everything about your life in the first few weeks. Instead, let your life unfold naturally, chapter by chapter, before her. Know this: human psychology is wired to appreciate the value of things not fully known. So by subconsciously withholding certain details, you increase your value in her eyes when you later reveal them. Create competition in her mind. There is something called social market value, and it basically means that girls value you more when they can see that other girls want you. In the popular book 48 Laws of Power, the third law is conceal your intentions, and the story there involves a woman named Ninon Lenglos. She was helping a prince attract a girl, and there was one time she told the prince to let the girl see him around other women. Why? It starts a competition, and girls, you better believe it, girls love to chase. You see, when a woman senses that other women are interested in her man, it immediately heightens your value and makes you even more desirable. It also triggers her in a way that makes you more appealing. The simple idea is, if women want you, then you're special and you're worth fighting for. Plus, she would like to be the winner of that competition. And when you do this correctly, just the thought that she could potentially lose you to another woman fuels a heightened focus on you. This focus makes her obsess over you. So does this mean that you should start introducing several women to her as your new girlfriends? Of course not. Of course not. Just compliment other girls from your workplace and basically let her see you having a good time while with other girls. Now that we're halfway through the video, why don't you hit that subscribe button to support the channel? Maybe do the same for the like button if you're enjoying the video. All done? Let's get back to the list. Establish yourself as high value. Now listen, there is no doubt that you can attract girls with flashy displays of your sports cars, Rolex watches, and expensive suits. That can work. Up to a certain point. After that point, the real things become important and the material things fade. And then she starts looking outside again for someone who has more than just cars and watches. So if you really want to keep a woman, you need to establish yourself as a high-value man. So how do you do that? Take Steve Jobs, the mind behind Apple, for example. Jobs didn't just flaunt his wealth. He created a vision and constantly shared his aspirations and plans. That's what you need to keep her obsessed. But how do you implement this business strategy in your relationship? Tell her where you're headed with your life and show her progress. For example, you can set a goal to gain a promotion in your work before the end of a particular year. Let her know that when you achieve it, you got it. And then you want to celebrate it and let her know your next target. This way, it feels like you're taking her on a journey to success. And who doesn't like a good journey? 6. Be inattentive sometimes. When I was a noob, I once dated a girl and I liked her a lot. I would always call her and take her out 4 times a week. First off, taking a girl out 4 times a week shows the girl that you don't have anything going on for you. Anyway, she soon started avoiding me until she finally sent me that message. It was over and I caused it. So ever since then, I learned that too much attentiveness to a woman is bad. Yeah, giving your girlfriend attention is crucial, but when you do it too much and sacrifice your own pursuits and identity, you lost her. Many men fall into the trap of becoming overly available. They bend over backwards to fulfill every whim. Trust me, that does not end very well. Sometimes you need to not be there for her. Yeah, you want to be there for her when she's sick and she can't help herself and when she really needs somebody. But beyond that, introduce a little bit of break, a little variety, be a little bit scarce. After all, she needs to know and see that you have a life. You got things going for you. You need to show her that you are building something great for the future and you can't always be there for her. You can't always reply to her texts and take her out. There may have to be times when you can't make it and then you guys have to reschedule, and if you don't do this, you risk becoming a doormat. The sexy stare. You can ask any woman and she will tell you that there is something about a man who knows how to hold a sexy stare. It's going to make her feel like she is the sole focus in a world full of distractions. Mastering this art not only shows confidence, but it also keeps your girl intrigued. So let's say you've been avoiding her calls for a while and you just went on a week's vacation and she hasn't seen you in a while. Well, when you finally come around, you have to give her all the attention by staring into those beautiful eyes. You want to return to her with good tidings, like a Viking who sailed the seas in search of treasure and returned to his family with gold and precious stones, and more importantly, stories. You see, In your absence, you've created a void, and now that you're back, you should fill that void. And a subtle way to do it is through a sexy stare. While she's telling you about her office life, just suddenly plug in that sexy stare with a little smile. If you do it right, you might just blow her mind and keep her obsessed. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We'd love to help. Also, you can learn more in the next video.